Things may look a little differently today because we're in an athletic training room, not a volleyball court, athletic training room. We're with the director of sports medicine at Georgia Tech, the famous, everyone loves her, Carla Gilson. Carla, thank you so much for taking time to join and talk with us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks, Keeks. It's great to be with you.
So Carla, you've worked almost 23 years at Georgia Tech. On your 21st year, you got the director spot. During those young years, what lessons have you learned to get you to this point?
Wow, Keely. I mean, first of all, I'm gonna just start off by saying, no, thank you, first of all, for even considering me for this. In the grand scheme, man, when I think about my time here at Georgia Tech and even in being in Atlanta, whoever thought I would be here, first of all. The blessing in having the opportunity to do what I love to do, say I love our student athletes, I love the community, I love the competition, but the most important part is I love seeing that light bulb go off in our student athletes' lives and even in the staff's lives, coaches' lives, shoot, even in my own, I would say, over the past years. And to me, that's been, I'd say, the hallmark of what I've been able to do here at Georgia Tech. And it all goes back to, I say, one simple word, and that's serve. And that's something that mom and dad taught us from way back when, is learning and knowing how to serve. I'll put this out here, and I'll probably say it more times than you want to hear. It's also that nobody really cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think that has really been what has been a driving force for me during my time here at Tech.
You're one of the most respected people I know because of that service heart. So you mentioned service. What are some other leadership traits? Because Carla, you're a walking leader to everyone around you. What are more traits that you have?
I think if you continue to lead with integrity and have purpose behind what you do, the other important piece is be intentional about what you do. That goes back to that heart of service, and don't make it about me. It's about the people that I serve, the people that I connect with, the people that I love. You probably can't tell, but for me in this office, yeah, I work in here, but to me, the office is about our student athletes. It's about the people that have come through. That's the hard work that they've put in, that I've had the privilege to serve them through. That's what this place is about.
I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but I want to yell it out and scream it out that you are the first Black female of a Power 5 conference in that director of sports medicine position. How does that feel to accomplish such an honor?
I'm humbled. I mean, completely humbled and honored to serve this community, to represent the Georgia Tech community, to represent athletic trainers across the world, I'm gonna say, who give their lives day in and day out for the mission at hand, the overall health, well-being, both mental and physical, of our student athletes and the people that we work with. And that's coaches, that could be administrators, and that's the overall community. For me, when I think about just what we do, I like to put it in, we think about CPR. Everybody knows CPR. We know cardiopulmonary resuscitation. You're doing the pumps, the chest compressions. And I think about that. When you do chest compressions, it's like you're pumping oxygenated blood to all the vital organs to give them life. And when I think about our role and our responsibility, I believe that's what we do. We are that piece that continues to help pump that energy, that blood, that excitement, that compassion, that listening ear into so many parts of the student athlete experience, the collegiate experience. Like I said, I'm honored and I'm thankful.
And Carla, you're the leader of that sports medicine department. What are some things that you do to make sure the people under you are growing and building?
To me, I think that's probably the most important, second to our student athletes. That is one of the most important pieces. One thing that we do whenever we have a new staff person, or probably when I first took on this role as a director of sports medicine, like I said, I believe it's important for staff to know who they are, understand their why they do it, or what is that reminder that they need every day when they walk into the room to remind them of the what's that they do. So I'm gonna just kind of show you this a little bit. And I have mine in my room. It's a white sheet stuck to the wall. And what it is, it's a way for you as an individual, or for me, to be reminded of, okay, Carla, what's first things first for the day? And for me, my first things first, I put balance on there, and I put second as my devotion. I flip that, where to me, especially during COVID time, I have had to rely on that morning time to settle myself and my mind, to be able to come in, especially be on Zoom meetings all day, but to be centered and to be focused. But I know for many of our staff, they've allowed it to be their target point to look at what are those important pieces of their life, family, friends, relationships, what their different focuses may be.
And speaking of COVID, you're in that leadership role for such a time as this, Carla. What are you doing? I know, getting ready. Hey, if you're not ready now, you have to be. What are some things you're doing as an athletic department to deal with this time?
You know, it's amazing. It's challenging as I think it's been for everybody across our world in managing COVID, dealing with COVID, from the meetings to the preparation. And as a director, and just say being human, it's one, having respect for this disease, this virus, for what it is, having respect for it, but also really being very intentional about our plans and preparations for our student athletes when they come back. Our goal is their health and safety. And when I tell you the number of meetings that our sports medicine staff, our administration, as well as from coaches and just everyone in general, from the campus community, is just really rallied around what can we do to ensure that health, safety, and well-being of our student athletes. And I'm gonna throw this little caveat out there if possible. If there's any student athlete, I don't care where you are, who's watching this, just do what you're supposed to do. Manage the mitigation, wash your hands, wear your mask, practice physical distancing. Let's just do the little things because we all want to be back together competing again.
Fantastic advice. Everyone listen to Carla. She will always guide you straight. All right, Carla, lastly, I'm going to ask you about what advice do you have for somebody that desires to be in your role?
For me, I'm going to say one piece is I didn't look at this seat as a director as a destination. And lots of times I get people who say, well, how did you get to that spot? And I was like, to me, this isn't a destination job because it continues with more responsibility and more desire to grow. My thoughts will always be, you got to keep your eyes open for that next opportunity. How do you learn something from every situation that you're a part of? No matter what it is. If it's for us, is it taping an ankle, or if it's picking up trash, even if it's doing water, be great where you are. Learn something from the people in your environment or your sphere of influence. Don't make any assumptions that you want to have the big responsibilities, especially if you're not willing to do the other tasks that are associated with this responsibility. Like I said, don't be a respecter of person or title, because at the end of the day and the beginning, we all have the same purpose. And I'd say be hungry. Remember, a closed mouth doesn't get fed either. So if you have a wish or a desire, you need to open your mouth and say something. Like I said, this is truly a blessing. I'm honored. And I thank you, Keely, for even thinking of me.
Oh, of course. Carla, I want everyone to know what a great leader you are, what a great person. And Georgia Tech did well putting you in that leadership role.
Well, I appreciate you. I thank you. I mean, this has been, I don't know how many years. I mean, since I remember the day you came back from Spain. And just being here at Georgia Tech. And since then, like I said, I've just watched our relationship blossom. And so I'm looking forward to it even more.
Oh, I got to add one last story that brought back a memory. I remember being a volunteer coach. I finished playing in Spain, came back to Georgia Tech just for a couple months before I got into college coaching. So I was a volunteer coach at Tech, traveling with the team. And then a girl during a warm-up, so we were in North Carolina, NC State, exactly. Oh, yes, Carla. Oh, my gosh. One of the players, not going to name names, but everybody that was around this time knows exactly who this is. We're warming up for the match, and here I am just like standing on the sideline cheering. I wasn't even hitting balls. And this player ran off, laying out for the ball. Mind you, it is warm-ups, but she's going hard. Lays out for a ball, dislocates her elbow. I was right there and saw it. Now, I don't have the gift to maintain my composure. It was disgusting. So out of panic, I yell, Carla! Yell the girl's name. And then I go, elbow! I had nothing more to say. So Carla, thank you for saving the day then. And then continuing to save the day multiple times with student athletes where you are now and coaches that were like, panicking like myself.
I remember that day.
Carla! Oh gosh, panic. But yeah, you're the best, Carla. We love you.
Oh, love you too, Keeks.
Mwah.